So you were together from elementary school, middle school, high school.
Well, not together, but
you were in each other's lives
we were,
orbit.
Yes,
absolutely.
So tell us how you came together.
I'll do, because obviously my rendition is a little different than hers. But so we went to elementary school from kindergarten. We were actually the first kindergarten class at the new Helena, so the new building. But I think we had fourth grade together. That was the only class we had together. Yeah. But obviously I knew of her, and I don't know if she'll tell you the same thing, but she was my fourth grade Valentine for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I crushed hard, big time, but she was talking to somebody else at the time.
Fourth grade drama.
Fourth grade drama. But so obviously, I mean, we stayed really close friends. We got really tight in middle school, and then in high school as well. I think we got pretty close because we both were on the kind of teaching route. I told you I went into college to be a teacher. We both took a course that I don't know if they still offer it in the high school now. It was teacher cadet. It was a teacher cadet course at the high school, which pretty much we, learned fundamentals of teaching, and then we actually got to like kind of intern and go into middle schools or elementary schools. And we both had that class together, and we both kind of wanted the same pathway, so that kind of really brought us closer. But we just never pulled that trigger until college. Until
junior year of college. So, like he said, I mean, we had always known each other and been kind of in similar friend groups. We were really close in middle school, and then moving into high school, you find different friend groups and you reenact different activities. So I think we kind of probably like drifted a little bit at the beginning of high school, but then like he said, at the end of high school, I think junior year, did we start that class?
Yeah, that was junior year.
We started the teacher cadet course and kind of were like, oh yeah, hey, and kind of got rekindled that friendship, I guess. And so we were close throughout high school, and like he said, we were kind of on that teaching path together. So we ended up both winning the Sarah Morton Teach in Person Scholarship our senior year. So, we went to a bunch of scholarship banquet dinners together and things like that. So we had different things going on together kind of that senior year. And then we graduated and didn't talk.
Yeah, at all. At all, for like 2 years straight.
Well, I mean, you would randomly like send a text like, hey, check in.
Purposefully.
He would randomly text me and say like, hey, how are you? Like just kind of checking in, like a friendly thing, or send a Snapchat, that sort of thing, at me on Twitter or whatever. And then junior year of college, he texted me and then he wouldn't stop. And then I think he mentioned me on Twitter a couple times, and I was just like, huh, what is this about? Because I was under the impression that it was just, friendly, like checking in.
Yeah.
But you can take the story back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, rewind. Like I said, fourth grade crush. She was always that girl that, like back in the day when you get the yearbooks at the end of the year, you like circled that. Yeah. She was that one that I'd circled in elementary school for sure.
That's actually true. Like his mom found his old yearbook from elementary school. And
it's 100% true.
Yeah.
I'm not a liar.
Yeah, no.
But I just thought it was like, obviously she's way out of my league. But I'd place breadcrumbs at the right moments in time, all throughout our history, and I guess it just clicked once.
And then I guess I don't know if I'm just naive or I don't know, but once I found out that he was like pursuing me, I was busy with volleyball and we were in season, that kind of thing. But after volleyball season kind of calmed down that year, we went on a date to the art museum in Raleigh, and went and had dinner and all those things. And it just, for some reason, like it worked.
Yeah,
like clicked. Everything felt normal. We even actually, on that first date, we sat with another couple. We went and got hibachi.
Japanese restaurant where you guys sit with like all the people. Well, it was just us two.
And one other couple.
One other like married
older
couple of a long time.
Yeah. And they were like, "Oh, are you guys married?" And we were like, "No, we're actually on a first date, but we've known each other. You know, that makes a difference." But they were very adamant that we were going to get married one day, and we've never seen them again. But we would.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
it was very much like rekindling a friendship and then it turning into a relationship.
Yeah.
It was like when we started seeing each other again, because from graduation until junior year of college, we had not like seen each other physically.
Yeah.
Actually, before the first date was he met my family shopping one day, and I didn't tell my mom that he was coming. My mom has always, always, always loved Hunter. And she will still tell you to this day that she like planned this and that this is like her work.
Her doing.
So she and Hunter's mom conspired into letting him know, like, hey, Jessica's single and like you should text her. So that's when the kind of that whole thing started. But before the first date, we were like, hey, we should like see each other. You know, we haven't seen each other since graduation. We should hang out, just, you know, see what happens. So we were actually Black Friday shopping. And I didn't tell my mom that he was coming to meet us. He was fishing for an invite, though.
I was not.
He was, because he was like, oh, I don't have anybody to go Black Friday shopping with. And I was like, oh, well, me and my family go every year. Come on, let's go. And so, because at that time, we had been texting for a couple months, but had never, you know, seen each other in person at that point. And so he showed up Black Friday shopping, and I legitimately think my mother had tears. Like, she was so happy. And then she made me ride home with him from Burlington, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I haven't seen this person in years. Like, what if we don't have anything to talk about on this awkward car ride home? Like, oh my gosh. And again, like it just worked. Like it was just normal. We talked forever. Like he took me to my house and came right in my house and like shook hands with my dad, met my brothers, and
yeah,
I was kind of it. I mean,
shout out to your mom. She was kind of my wing. She was a little bit my wingman that day, because she was like, she had a friend with her, and her mom was like, "Hey, why don't you ride me, Hunter? Can you take her home?"
Yeah.
And I was even staying in Greensboro. I drove her to Timberlake.
I was like, oh my gosh, like this isn't happening right now. Y'all are and they were like giggling the whole time. They thought it was the best thing ever. And I was like, this is going to be so awkward. What if we don't have anything to talk about? But we did. Long
story short, I've never been Black Friday shopping until this point. I woke up, which in college, 8 o'clock was early for me. Got up, met them 8 o'clock at a makeup store.
It was Ulta, but he kept saying Ultra, but we'll forgive him.
Met them at a makeup store at 8 o'clock, and I think I ended up leaving her house in Timberlake at like 12
It was
a.m. that night.
Hanging,
so
he was playing games with my brothers, like just kind of like fit right in.
Yeah, just clicked.
It just worked. And then we continued like hanging out as friends. Like it was, I think, Thanksgiving break and like Christmas break and stuff right there together before we ever went on like that first date, I guess. But I mean, we would just stay up talking and watching movies, and it worked. He was very, while he was, texting me and pursuing me, he was also very hesitant too. So like he wouldn't hold my hand, and I was like, wait, what is this, like a relationship thing? Like, so it was very respectful and very innocent.
I have one person can vouch for me.
Okay.
And I won't plug his name in here, but he knows who he is. I told him before we even started dating, that if we started dating, I was going to marry this girl. And he can vouch for me. I said that, and that's why it took me a little while.
And here we are.
How long did it take to get there?
So
So yeah, how long?
I always remember our timeline. One, we started dating on January 1st, 2016.
Yes.
Yeah, but I always remember it by like the Christmas rings. I call it the winter rings. The first year I bought her a promise ring. Yeah.
Yes.
I bought you a
know.
promise ring. I knew like as soon as we started dating like that she was it. Like I just knew. I know you say you're naive, but I knew like and I know people out there that have the same feelings. You know, when you know, you know. So that first Christmas I bought her a promise ring. The next year, right before Christmas, we got engaged.
We got engaged in August. So
Yeah.
so we started dating January 1st of 2016. He bought me a promise ring for Christmas December of 2016, and then we were engaged August of 2017 after we graduated from college. And so I kind of like jokingly was like, why did you even spend money on a promise ring if, you know, a few months later you were going to propose? So,
Yeah, well, I don't know.
the Christmas rings, that's what he calls it.
Yes. And then, so we got engaged.
After I graduated.
Yep. So you were graduated. I was still working on some schoolwork, but I was working full time at that point. Not at the sheriff's office by then. I was just working a construction job. But we got engaged in August of 17 and then got married.
October of 18.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. It was.
And then COVID hit, you know, about a year or so after. So.
Yeah, but it's been a fun ride.
It has. It's been really fun. And, you know, he hasn't always worked in the schools with me. So it's been like an interesting shift in our relationship too, to like share all of these work experiences as well and be kind of working towards the same things, like working with the same people, having the same concerns, and like being able to have those conversations.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I think that's really important. I think a relationship can't be truly successful unless you at least share some common values, you know? So, I mean, having shared those common values really, I mean, here recently, our relationship is just strengthening, really. Just more and more, which is good. But, yeah, so we got engaged, and I think we got married, and we bought a house in Roxborough the same month.
We closed on our house the same month
October
that
2019.
we got married. So that was a whirlwind. But it worked.
It worked. She did everything with the wedding, and I did everything with the house. So we moved in at the beginning of the month of our new house, and we got married at the end of the month. And we've been...
And our families were amazing. Like, by the time our wedding rolled around, I was like, you know what? If I end up married at the end of the day, like, I don't care what the plates look like. I don't care what the napkins are. I don't care. I just want to be married at the end of the day. And for the people that are there to know that we love each other and, you know, get to, you know, just share in that moment with us. So shout out to my mom for taking care of wedding stuff too.
But yeah, it's been fun.